You stupid people of the Co-Cathedral of the Sacred Heart. My brothers and sisters in Christ, if I started a homily that way, people would stone me in the pulpit, and yet this is essentially the words we hear from Paul at the beginning of the first reading today. You stupid, or you senseless Galatians. This very harsh chastisement comes across, and of course would not be recommended, especially in today's time where everyone is so sensitive to giving offense or taking offense from anything. And so no one would recommend this approach in a modern day. No seminary would teach it, no psychiatrist, no counselor, no leadership seminar would say it. And yet there's something that is driving Paul to this very harsh language as he speaks to the Galatians, which is his concern with the corruption he sees at work in them. Paul is looking and seeing that a people who have received the gospel with fervor are creeping back into, as he describes it, creeping back into the flesh, which is they're allowing the things of the flesh to warp the gospel as they have received it. And this is an accusation that we can make in every age and in the present day as much as any other. When instead of allowing the gospel to shine light on who we, of course, first of all, who God is, and therefore who I am, and therefore the world as God has created it, what I am created for, what I am created to do. The gospel, when we receive it in faith, illuminates this and gives us direction to move forward. But when, in the grasp of the spirit of the age, we instead give primacy to the matters of the flesh and then try to reinterpret the gospel in that light, then slowly but surely we corrupt the gospel into something of our own creation, something that is not true and something that is not life-giving. This happens nowadays most commonly through laws about sexual morality, because that is the spirit of the age, which is to redefine the human person, redefine what human sexuality is, redefine the family, redefine the person. All of these things are at a constant pull. And so if we can get someone strong enough to buy into this ideology first, then to make the gospel fit that, we have to start twisting it and corrupting it so that it's not inconsistent with the world's view on these things. But when we go there, we end up with something that's not only not recognizable, but something that's not true. And so, just as Paul says to the Galatians in his day, anyone who stands before a people as a shepherd today has to say, perhaps not in as harsh of words as you stupid Galatians, or you stupid people of the Co-Cathedral, but we have to say, no. What the world is presenting, what the flesh is crying out, is wrong. That is not of God. Instead, we are called to receive the gospel in its wholeness that shows us who we are, shows us what we are created for, and then we are to submit all things to that. Because that is where we find not only truth, not just in an intellectual sense, but we find the fullness of life. We find our true freedom in that. The ideologies of the world bring chains. They don't bring freedom. They come in the voice of freedom, but they bring chains. They bring slavery. But instead, we must receive the gospel as it has been passed down to us and receive it in its totality and fullness of heart. Jesus tells us that he has come to give us the truth, and the truth shall make us free. May God bless you all.